What is up, guys? Here I am bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck list video. And this time we're doing it in celebration of the Cyber Dragon Revolution structure deck release. And so, here we're going to jump right into it. This is a really good structure deck. The deck itself, when you buy one, is not that good, but if you make a budget deck out of 3 of them, you get a really solid deck. And with the increase of usage in Cyber Dragons, as I see in the future with Cybernetic Fusion support, it's going to be a really good deck, and it's going to pick up real fast. And plus you get really good commons in there. There is like Mystical Space Typhoons in there. You can get Super Poly, which is a really, I didn't see that coming. You can get a super polymerization out of there. And also, you know, just trap stuns and D-prisons and stuff of the like. So it's a really good deck, and I'd recommend picking them up, even just for the commons in the deck, because they're just really good commons. So we're going to jump right into this. Boom. We're going to lead off with, obviously, Cyber Dragon, the main card of the deck. I mean, what's a Cyber Dragon deck with the Cyber Dragons? Pretty much all the monsters in here are Cyber Dragons. But anyway, so 3 Cyber Dragons. Boom, boom, boom. Easy. Level 5 beater. Your opponent has a monster, you don't? Cyber Dragon. Need to exceed? Cyber Dragons. Want a powerful monster? Power Bond some Cyber Dragons. Simple as that. Alright, so 3 of those. And then next is a new card that came out in the set. I think it's really cool, it's really unique. Cyber Dragon Core. And with Cyber Dragon, we use 3 Cyber Dragon Cores. And what Cyber Dragon Core is, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Cyber Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. And if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 Cyber Dragon from your deck. You can only use 1 Cyber Dragon Core's effect per turn, but still, solid effect, pretty good monster. Just, it helps the deck run. Next, we'll go into 2 Cyber Dragons Y. Now, this one came out a while ago, and I believe back when 5Ds came around. This was a new Cyber Dragon support card that they tried to make, and it really isn't as good as the other 2. But if this card attacks your opponent's monster, you can gain 300 attack during the damage step only, and once per turn you can reveal 1 spell card in your hand, and this becomes Cyber Dragon until the end phase. So it's a good way to, you know, if you need to, 1 Cyber Dragons Y. Reveal spell card in your hand. I have Cyber Dragon Repair Plant. Oh, well then boom, it's a Cyber Dragon. You have a core out too. Power Bond for Cyber Dragons. Overlay for Cyber Dragon. Just do it. Activate Cyber Network. Solid card. Good for the effect. And it's all these monsters are Cyber Dragon in the graveyard or on the field, depending on their effects. So next we have the other new Cyber Dragon card, Cyber Dragon Dry. So what this does is you can, when this card is normal summoned, you make all Cyber Dragons you control level 5. This turn you cannot special summon any monsters during this turn except machine type monsters, which is pretty much the whole deck, so you're pretty much fine. Except for some of the Xyzes in there. But, and notice how it says you can, so you can still use it for level 4s to make rank 4 Xyzes. So it's really good, you know, it's a versatile card. And if this card is banished, you can target 1 Cyber Dragon you control, and it can't be destroyed by card effects that turn. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while it's on the field or in the graveyard, so it's another Cyber Dragon. This is the loophole in the deck to get as many Cyber Dragons as possible. And so, now we'll move into another really good card. It gives you a lot of draw power, and it just helps out all around, and that's 3 Cyber Valley. And Cyber Valley has 3 effects, and the one you see used the most is when they attack, you can banish 1 Cyber Valley to draw a card. The other 2 effects are pretty much you banish it and another monster from somewhere on the field or in your hand, and you draw a certain amount of cards. Or you can put a card on the top of your deck. So Cyber Valley is a good card, it just helps you get some draw power in the deck, since it really doesn't have any. And last monster is a really good card. You see it in a lot of light monster decks. Honest. People say, oh, well, you have Honest and Cyber Dragons. Well, Honest is just really good because all the monsters are light monsters, so it immediately applies to its effect. So it's just a really good card, and it helps out a lot because it works with most of the cards in the deck. So it just helps out all those monsters, like you want to get your Nova and do an OTK, or you want to get your Cyber Twins or your Cyber End. So, really good card, really solid, I really like it. And we'll move into the staple spells here. And what we have is pretty simple. 1 Dark Hole, 2 MSTs, 3rd one in the side like always, as all my decks are. You know, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Buka Moon. And then 2 Forbidden Lances. Not 3. 3rd one's in the side. Don't worry. If you need the 3rd Forbidden Lance, you have it. So just boom. Pretty simple staples. Next we have 3 Power Bond. And Well, Power Bond's obviously, I mean, it's an old card. What it does is you can use it to special summon one machine type fusion monster from your extra deck using fusion monsters from your hand, the fusion materials from your hand, or your field. And so it gains attack equal to the original attack of that monster. You pretty much double your attack there. And the end phase of this card, the turn this card is activated, you can take damage equal to the amount of the original attack of the monster at the time it is summoned by this effect. So it's a really good way to get a boosted Cyber Twin or Cyber End if you need it. And it's just a really solid card all around. So next we'll move into one or machine duplication. I don't like two. I like to have room for other stuff. So I only run one. And I really don't see much use out of two anyway. I don't even see much use out of one. It's just kind of in there if I need it with core. Because it in core is really good. It's too good. It's annoyingly good. And Cyber Valley too. And then we have 3 Cyber Repair Plants. And what this is if you have a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. If you have 3 or more Cyber Dragons, which is half the deck, all the monsters in the deck, you can easily get 3 added up. You can activate both effects and in sequence, and you can either add a light machine type monster from your deck to your hand, or you can special target one machine type monster in your graveyard and shuffle that target into your deck. So it's a good way to shuffle your cards back in and get a little more. It's like kind of like a Pot of Avarice, but really weak. It's a really weak Pot of Avarice, I guess. It's just a really way to get your cards moving around, get them circulating, get stuff back if you need it. And finally, on the last 2 cards, we have Limiter Removal, which is you double the attack of all machine type monsters you control, but in the destroyed at the end phase. Really old card. It's been around for as long as I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's there. And it kind of works in this deck. It's really good for an OTK if you have like you have 3 twins and a Nova. It's just like, get off my property. You know, you mess everything up. You screw everyone over. And then we have 1 day apiece. Activate this with Power Bond. Don't take any damage from it. Boom! You have a 5600 attack Cyber Twin Dragon or an 8000 attack Cyber End, ready to destroy everything the next turn. You can even attack that turn. You just take no damage. So I mean, you're just ready to destroy face next turn. You can even, if you're lucky, you can get more than 1 Power Bond off, and stuff gets real. All right, that's all of our spells. It's really monstrous. This deck's kind of got a pretty decent amount of traps compared to the last one. And we have 2 Cyber Networks. Cyber Network is, if there is a Cyber Dragon on your side of the field, you can activate this card. It's a continuous trap. And so what happens is, once per turn, if Cyber Dragon is on the field, you can banish 1 light machine type monster you control from your deck. And so when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon as many monsters as you can. Light machine type monsters as possible, and if you destroy all spell and trap cards you control, and monsters that are special summoned by this effect cannot activate their effects, and you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect, and it's destroyed after 3 standby phases. So pretty much it's just a good way to swarm the field, and while they can't activate the effects, it really doesn't matter because you're going to go into fusions or you're going to go into overlays. So really good card, helps you set up for a really good OTK. And then we go, and since most of the monsters are countered as Cyber Dragons either on the field or in the grave, really easy to pull off. Or just on the field, it's really easy effect to pull off. And then we have some staple traps. We have 1 Mirror Force, 2nd in the side, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Torrential Tribute, 2 Trap Stuns, and then 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, and then 2 Dimensional Prisons. Yeah, this is all stuff that just keeps the deck going, helps you out a bit, gets things out of your way. Like, this helps you to get rid of Garunix, because I've seen Fire Kings pick up a bit. It just really helps you get rid of all those threats. And so, that's the main deck. That's all the spells, traps, and monsters we got going here. So, as you can see, it's a really solid, the main deck's really solid. It's got a strong presence. The monsters may not be the strongest, but it gives you draw power. You have ways to recycle your cards, and you have ways to set up for an OTK if you need to. And so we'll move into the extra deck, which is pretty thick. Coming in at just 14 cards, because I'm missing one. I don't have a Cyber End Dragon in this yet. And I really wish we did. If I get Cyber End Dragon, I'll update the video. Or actually, I really don't need to update the video because Cyber End Dragon is kind of self-explanatory. Just read the card effect. So just remember that. So we'll start off with our first one. And that is 1 Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. And so Cyber Twin Dragons are rank 8s, or level 8s, so you can easily go into 2, bring 2 of them out, bam, exceeds into 1 Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Pretty basic card. Tribute as many cards from your hand as possible, destroy all these cards on the field, and that's pretty much it. So, really simple card. It's a 3000 beater. It's a really good card. 2 Cyber Dragon Novas. I don't like 3. 3's too much for me. It just doesn't work out. And I'm running 3 till I can get a Cyber End Dragon in here, so for the sake of the video, it's 2. And so this is the new Xyz monster that Cyber Dragon's got. And so what it is you can target once per turn you can detach 1 Xyz material and target 1 Cyber Dragon in your graveyard and special summon that target. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand or face up from your monster card zone. And this card gains 2100 attack till the end phase, so it's a 4200 beater. And if this card is destroyed in my possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, I can special summon 1 machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. So that's a free Cyber End Dragon, that's a free Cyber Twin Dragon, or just any other machine fusions you're running in the deck. I don't have many, but that's how I play. And then 1 Volcasaurus. You know, Volcasaurus is pretty self-explanatory. Detach 1 Xyz material, destroy an opponent's monster, and if I do, I inflict damage to them equal to the attack of that destroyed monster. And here's the last level rank 5 Xyz, Utopia Ray V. With 3 Cyber Dragons in the deck and everything being level 5 with Dry's effect, I can easily bring out a Utopia Ray V. And it's just a good way to have. It's just a good 2600 attacker if I need it. And then we have our rank 4 Xyzs. We have Utopia as a staple, Utopia Ray also as another staple. Well, I wouldn't say Utopia Ray is a staple, but it's just a really good card to have if you're in a tight spot. 1 Photon Papal Operative, and 1 Maestroke the Symphony Djinn, and then 1 Steel Swarm Roach. All rank 4s, because with Honest, Cyber Dragon Dry, you can easily go into at least one of these monsters if you need to. So, that is all we have for Xyzs. Those are the rank 4 Xyzs. And so now we will go into the 1 synchro of the deck. If you need this, you can switch in from your side deck 1 Starlight Road, which I do have in my side deck. That's the only card I run in the side deck, along with the other cards that you usually run 3 of. I can side in if I need to. And so we go into 1 Stardust Dragon for our synchro. It's a level 8, so I can easily go into Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis if I need to with that as well. Plus I can use it to keep my monsters safe. Then, finally, fusions. We have 3 Cyber Twin Dragons. I don't have a Cyber End Dragon, so this is all I have for fusions. It's a 2800 attack monster, can attack twice each turn, so it's just really good. And plus with Power Bond, it's 5600, and with Nova, I can bring them in for free. I don't really need to fuse them. So, we will go into some of the side deck right now. In my side deck, I run Starlight Road, Macrocosmos, 2 Super Poly, a 3rd Forbidden Lance, a Max C, and 2 Malevolent Catastrophes. All really good cards to run in the side deck. They really help me bring it out. And if I need, I guess, and then a 3rd Nova in the side deck. So it's a really good thing to have. You know, these are a lot of common cards that you see in side decks, and they're really good to side in after you've done the first round of the match. You know, you get a little counter going on in there. So that is my Cyber Dragon but semi-budget deck. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. We will have more deck videos coming soon. I know for sure we are doing Battling Boxers, if anyone's interested, and we may be doing Boojins and Gladiator Beasts. So just these are things to look out for. So here I am, signing off. Peace out.